Hey everybody, welcome to Nightmares anyone. It is Father's Day, Sunday, June 18th, 2023. So we're going to celebrate Father's Day with I Want My Cake. Yeah, we're going to celebrate Father's Day with some vintage horror. Come right back after the intro. So hey, in today's video, yes, it is Father's Day 2023. I want to wish a horrific and scary Father's Day to four of some of my favorite horror authors that have just become really good personal friends. So I want to welcome a happy Father's Day. Shout out a huge welcome horrific Father's Day to A. Lopez Jr., Jerry Roth, Solomon Petchers, and JP Willie. I know you guys are all fathers. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. But hey, I just want to wish you guys a great Father's Day. So, as in perfectly said in George A. Romero's Creep Show, I want my cake. And yeah, we all know what happens in that scene and that part of the movie. So hey, let's get into today's reviews. So, hey everybody. Today I'm gonna be celebrating Father's Day by doing a review on 1978's Ball or Bail by Robert R. McCammon. And what year did this come out? 1982's Black Cat by John Russo. Yeah. So, if you guys noticed, this was one of 5 books. My Night of the Living Dead is up there behind the rest of them. These were the coolest books. They were the coolest book covers. They had these silver reflective artwork on them, and they were all done by Lisa Falkenstern. So there's the Black Cat cover. Here's the Majorettes cover. Very cool. There's Midnight, made into a terrible movie. Majorettes was made into a movie too. And then here's the biggest of all of them, the thickest, Limb to Limb. And then Night of the Living Dead was done the same way. So before I get into these 2 reviews, I want to welcome some new subscribers to the channel. So I want to welcome Bob's Starlets, Amanda's Nights of Horror. It's just Nitz. I would take it. It's Nights. And then I want to welcome William Stahl and what is the other one right here? Sarah Barrymore. So yeah, welcome to the channel, everybody. And if you're new to the channel, if for some weird reason you just popped on here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little notifications so you don't miss out on any upcoming horror. So, the first one I'm going to do a review on is 1978's Bail or Ball. This was Robert R. McCammon's very first novel, and I'm going to read you the back first. It says, "Call me Bale. A woman is ravished, and to her a child is born, unleashing an unimaginable evil upon the world. And they call him Bale in the orphanage. And they call him Bale in the orphanage, where he leads the children on a rampage of violence. In California, where he appears as the head of a deadly Manson-like cult. In Kuwait, where crazed millions heed his call to murder and orgy. They call him Bale in the Arctic's hellish wasteland, where he is tracked by the only three men with the will to stop him. Zark, the shaman, Virga, the aging professor of theology, and Michael, the powerful, mysterious stranger." Okay, so this book clocks in at 293 pages. It was published in 1978 by Avon Paperbacks. It was a Avon Paperbacks original, believe it or not. Now, this book, you guys all know how I feel about Robert R. McCammon. As you can see right there, he's one of my favorite, if not probably my favorite horror author from years back. I have been following him since this book was published, and you guys all know that his book, A Boy's Life, is my favorite book of all time. I've read that book more than any times. I'm looking at those bookshelves right there because they're leaning forward off the wall, and I don't want any books to fall off there, so I gotta fix those. But this book, when I first read it in 1978, yeah, I was in 11th grade in high school, and I was expecting this really horrific, scary book, and it wasn't at the time, so I didn't really like it. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't one of those books that scared me or even, but reading it now in 2023 as a 62-year-old man, the book fucking scared the shit out of me. Now, as I said, the mother is viciously and savagely raped by a very gross, smelly, disturbing, just sickening man who rapes her in an alley. And he not only rapes her, he burns his handprints into her body. Yes, burns her handprints into her body. 9 months later, she gives birth to a boy that she names Jeffrey. And tragically and sadly, she passes away when the little boy is young. He goes to an orphanage, and this is when Jeffrey changes his name to Ball or Bale. I'm going to say Bale because that's what I've always said. And he leads these kids in the orphanage to one of the most horrific scenes of violence that ever involved little kids. A lot of you are going to say, oh, I've always wanted to read that book, but isn't it just a ripoff of Rosemary's Baby or The Omen or The Bad Seed? It's nothing like that. What you find out about Bale is, well, I'm not giving any spoilers away, but he becomes, oh my God, just the world's epitome of pure human evil. And the scenes of horror in this book are not your graphically, chop them up like a cereal, slasher. The scenes of horror in this book are so realistic and so creepy that as reading this as an adult in today's world of gun violence and shooting, rapes, and just the world today is such a world of violence, and it seems like that's what's always glamorized and advertised in our news, but it's actually a scary, scary book. What was I gonna say? Oh, there's a character in here, and he's probably my favorite character in the book, but he's one of the three people that battle and want to eliminate Bale, and his name is Varga. Varga was actually written based on a real man. Robert R. McCammon was 25 when he wrote this book, and he used to work in a department store in Birmingham, Alabama, but every day he would go to the same cafe and eat. And he noticed this elderly man, a priest, that would come in every day and sit at the same table. He'd always sit by himself. He'd always eat the same meal. And that is who Robert R. McCammon based Varga on. And it just amazes me because the book is just, it's a literary, it's a piece of literature classic. It's just, it was written, God, what, 40 years ago, 45 years ago, something like that. And it stands up better today than it did when it was originally published. So I give it 5 stars, highly recommended. Check it out if you've never read it. If you have a copy, it's available now in so many reprints, and it's available as an ebook, as an audiobook, and read it. It's great. 5 stars all the way. Love it. Now, on to the next one. As I said, this was written in 1982. This is written by the master of horror for his time, John Russo, who also wrote one of the most horror classics ever, Night of the Living Dead, which was made into a terrifying movie for its time. Black and white horror classic by George A. Romero. He directed it. And the movie was actually banned for many, many years when it first came out. And it still is the #1 zombie film of all time, in my opinion. It's a classic. But this is his book, Black Cat. Now, like I said, this was published in 1982. It only has 223 pages in it. I'm going to read you what the back is. The front of it says, "He comes to do an evil bidding, as quiet as a whisper in the dark, as certain as death. Black Cat, a novel of terror by John Russo. Spirited from the dark jungles of Africa to a place in the American desert, the evil soul of a witch doctor lives on in the body of Simon, the great jungle beast who leads his human followers, the Panther people, in their orgies of lust and blood." Sounds kind of funny, huh? The Panther people. Now the innocent Martin family, George, Peg, and their beautiful daughter, Jenny, who is stupid, on vacation will stumble upon his gruesome cult, trapped in a desert nightmare of terror and death waiting. In the quiet wasteland, the sound of their own pulse will be all they can hear, but somewhere in the dark night, outside their lonely hotel room, there is breathing. For once Simon has your scent, he will not stop until he tastes your warm, fresh blood. Black Cat. I'm going to tell you what, this book was so graphically gory and so disturbing in its scenes of sexual dismemberment and sex, and the violence in this book is non-stop. Now, I have the paperback original, as you can tell right there, but I listened to this on Scribd. Yeah, I listened to the audiobook. The audio was fantastic. The reading and the interpretation and the voice. Sorry about that. I had to drink some water. The person who narrates this does such a phenomenal job that once the book starts, it doesn't start out as what you think it's going to be, but oh my God, it is a dark, vicious, violent short novel of the weirdest cult you will ever come across. And the violence in this book, get ready. But trigger warnings, if you are disturbed by extreme scenes of sex, with graphic depictions of orgasms and sex with bloody things and sexual dismemberment. There's rape. There's cannibal. Everything you can think of is in this book. And it's such a short book that you think, how the hell did John Russell write all of this in this little tiny book? But I don't know why I waited so long to read it. I've had it since it originally came out. I bought all 5 of the books because I loved their covers for the time, but I never read it. And I kind of am glad now that I didn't read it when it originally came out, because oh my God, this book is just, it's so graphic. And yeah, it's a classic. In my opinion, it's a classic. I gave it 5 stars all the way. Well, actually 4.5 stars, because some of the scenes really bothered me. And there's a scene in there that has to do with kittens and cats that really disturb me. But it's a great book. If you love your horror and that type of genre, check it out because it's great. And I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, but I'll throw it in right here. Well, I'm gonna edit it in, so you're gonna see it at the beginning. So yeah, I just want to tell you all, thanks for stopping by. The channel's building back again to where I really want it to get. I'm almost at 500 subscribers. I'm not doing this horror channel for the subscribers or the numbers. I just love to read horror, as you can tell, and I love to talk about it. So hey, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by. And like I said before, if you haven't done so already, throw me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithms on the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe right there. And hey, you guys, if you love horror, if you love reading and love to be scared, stop by again. Don't forget to turn your notifications on. And hey, tell your friends, if you like to be scared, if you just like to read creepy, gross stuff, stop by, subscribe. And hey, I'm Richard with Nightmares Anyone. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Thanks.